opinion and a point can still be the same thing. Hey, how's it going? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. How's it going?
Yo, hold on. Get on speaker.
All right. So, like, what exactly is your problem with the alphabet people?
I don't have a problem with the alphabet people.
All right. So let's see what you just said here. Yeah, you said alphabet people because you don't support putting America first.
Yeah, you support the alphabet people before the people for America first. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, isn't the alphabet people part of the American people?
No, is it as the agenda, right? The agenda of the whole thing of supporting giving them a whole month versus the people who fight for our country. We only give them 1 day, type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. You know.
Okay. And you have a problem with teaching trans ideology in schools and Netflix shows?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Why?
Why? Because we shouldn't be teaching that in school.
Because?
Because it's not part of educating children. It's not going to better their lives by having some type of transgender ideology or whatever. It's not going to help them in life with anything, right? It's basically whoever has transgender feelings and stuff like that should seek for help mentally because they have some type of mental health issue.
Okay, how is that a mental health issue?
It is. How, for an example, if a boy believes that he's a girl.
Yeah.
And when a girl believes that she's a boy, that's, you have your mind is not in the right place.
Right. You don't think you don't think that's possible for
No, of course not. Of course not is possible. That's never been possible and it never will be possible.
I mean, I think it is possible. Like, I don't know. I think the burden of proof would be on you to demonstrate why that's not possible.
How is it going to be possible? Right?
If someone grows up, if an 8-year-old kid, right, if he rejects all of the, if he rejects being a boy and all the things that come with being a boy, if he rejects all that stuff because he believes he's a man, like,
but he's still a boy, regardless if he rejects it or not. He's still a boy. Right? Like, no. You can change the color to a wall, to a vehicle, but when you're born a certain way, either a boy or a girl, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, physically. I mean, you're born physically, right? A male.
No, it's not physically. You're a physical boy, right? You have the chromosomes and everything of a boy. You have a penis.
But the brain. But if the brain says you're not. But if the brain says if your brain says you're not a boy, but you physically are a boy.
No, because it's not your brain. It's something that you feel like you believe in. Right? It's a feeling. Right? You're not, a person that's gay is not gay. Right? They're not born to be gay. They learn that. It's something they learn. Right? You can learn how to change a tire. You can learn how to change. That's something they learn. They don't feel that way. Like they're not, oh, because I feel this way, that's what I am. No, that's not like, if you think about it, that's not like a normal thing. If I feel angry, I can feel angry, right? But 2 seconds later, I can feel happy again. So it's a feeling. It's not a physical truth. So a boy stays a boy until they die, from when they're born till they die.
Right.
So there's no way of being somebody that could be transgender. They have an issue. They have a mental issue. If you think let's keep it a buck. You got some people that feel like they identify as a cat, as a dog. Like,
I mean, first of all, those examples are very like minor, very insignificant. Also, like the brain is physically part of you. Your thoughts are physically part of you. So if you physically like feel like you're not a boy and you're a girl, and 90% of them that transition don't regret being transitioning. So I don't know what the problem is.
So you're trying to say that being transgender is a normal thing? Like people that feel that way, they should transgender over to whatever they feel like they should be?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So if I feel like a girl today, right?
Yeah.
I should be a girl today, but tomorrow if I feel like a guy, I can go back to being a guy?
Yeah. I mean, what exactly is the problem?
Dude, you got an issue, bro.
What is the issue? Can you demonstrate me the issue instead of just saying it's the issue?
Dude, it's a sickness. Like
how is that a sickness?
You're either born a boy or a girl.
Yeah, what you're saying, that goes against the scientific literature. That goes against the scientific literature.
Scientifically, you cannot convert yourself into a boy if you're a girl. And if let's say this. Let's say what is a male? What is the necessary conditions to be a male? What was your question again? Sorry.
What are the necessary conditions for someone to be a male? That they're a male, they're a boy.
By their chromosomes.
Okay, so what? So XX chromosomes. So someone is
just based on a female's chromosome is different from a male's chromosome. So like,
yeah, so
a man that's converted into a female cannot get pregnant. Right?
Okay. So let's say this. Okay. So what you're saying is a male is someone with XX chromosomes. That's your definition?
No.
So what is your definition of a male?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on a second. Real simple. Look, I'll even do a little Google search. What is a male, right? Hold on a second. I'm logging into Wi-Fi. I'm at a hotel room. Okay, now I'm waiting for the thing to... So, a male has a XY chromosomes, right?
Okay.
Okay. That makes you a man, right?
Okay.
Same thing goes for a woman.
Well, let's just stay with the male thing. That's okay. What makes a man. Let's stick with that. So what makes a man? You're just saying XY chromosome?
Yeah, that's what makes a male. Right? You're talking about what makes it. So
no. I'm saying what is a male, not what makes a male. What is a male?
What is a male? I'll give you an example. Myself, I'm a male. I'm a man, right? I'm a man. I was born a man, and I will die as a man, right?
Okay. I mean, you kind of.
And the XY chromosomes.
Okay, so
Biologically,
I mean, define. Just tell me what a man is without using the word man. So I know, like, oh, that's a man, but don't just say like a man.
You make no sense.
I mean, you're not making any sense. If I said like, hey, what's a blarg? A blarg is a blarg. Now tell me what a blarg is. I mean, that's what you just said to me. You said I'm a man. That makes me a man. If I could just make up anything. I could say a blarg is a blarg. Now tell me what a blarg is. So what is a man? Just tell me what a man is.
I'm a male. That's the only way that I can pronounce, like, what is it? I am a human being that's a male with XY chromosomes.
Okay.
Right? I developed Y chromosomes. Like, I don't, like...
Okay, so that's it. A male is just someone with XY chromosomes. That's your...
Yeah, what do you think? What else it is? It's a male?
Okay. I just want to get that... I just want to make that clear. A man is someone with XY chromosomes.
Correct.
Okay. So let's say there's a person, right, with just XX chromosomes. They have a penis, they have a mustache and a beard. You see him down the street. Is that not a male? Because he doesn't have a Y chromosome?
What was that? If I see a male...
Okay, let's say you see a person, right?
And a beard.
Yeah, penis, beard.
I see a person.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But they don't have the Y chromosome. Are they a male?
No.
So what are they?
I don't know. However they're born. They're obviously, if they're not a male and they don't have the Y chromosomes, right? They're obviously a female, right? Because they attach a penis. So
let's say that person was born. He was born with the penis, though.
I highly doubt it, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he has there's a syndrome called Klinefelter syndrome where people are born without the Y chromosome.
It's not a penis. It's a clit.
No.
Just because it's larger doesn't mean it's a penis. It's still a clit.
No, let's say he was born with the penis. A person is born with the penis, but they don't have the Y chromosome. Or are they saying, and they're still assigned male at birth? Are you saying, but they don't have the Y chromosome? Are you saying that they're not a male?
No, there's every male has the Y chromosome.
So even though he was assigned male at birth, you're saying he's not a male?
No, he's not a male. He's obviously something else.
Even though he has a penis, even though he's assigned male at birth, even though it says his driver's license, even though he looks like a male, and everyone else identifies as a male.
The thing is that's an argument that those are shit that you can always change, right? What you can't really change is yourself. And you're talking about something that happens like 0.0, according to Google, 0.2% of the times, and like.
No, it's really like I think it's really 1 to 2% of the time. But yeah.
No, it's barely not even a percent. It's not even 0.25%. It's 0.2% that this shit happens. So that means out of billions of people on the planet, there's probably like an existing that has that type of issue are like 1 to 2 people.
So I just Googled intersex people percentage. It says up to 1.7% of run with intersex traits.
No. Either way, you're talking about once again 3 to 4 people. Let's say we get 1%. All right, cool. You're talking about 2 to 3 people with that issue, which is super rare. That's the thing, though. The rest of the population that think of the transgender ideology cannot be naive about.
Well, that's about 160 million people in the world. Are you saying those 164 billion people don't matter?
No, we're talking about like 6 people in the world that have that. If you do the percentage, you're talking about like 2 or 3 people that they allegedly has that problem, right?
No.
So at the end of the day, the
No.
common human being and person that exists in this planet, it's either male or female. You can't argue that.
No. If you look up Klinefelter syndrome, those are people
Let,
that are born with extra chromosomes, and they
let,
say
me,
that affects their.
let me ask you something.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you who do you identify, but what are you?
A
A
male.
male or a female?
A male.
You're a male?
Yeah.
You were born a male?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Do you support the transgenders, the gay, the LGBTQ, whatever?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they're valid.
I think everybody's valid,
Okay.
right? I think everybody that exists is valid, right?
Okay.
I don't want to make it seem like I hate those kind of people. I don't. Hate is very strong.
Yeah.
But some people beg to differ, right? My father's very homophobic. I'm not. Right? I got family members and all that stuff that are gay,
Yeah.
and I love them to death. Right?
Okay.
At the end of the day, I don't see them as gay people. I see them as people. My issue is the government allowing that type of behavior in schools and kind of brushing it down kids' throats. I don't think that's fair for the kids, right? I feel like if a kid is growing up and feels a little different, you know, as parents or guardians of that kid should take the initiative to educate them. Like, hey, I know you feel this way. I'm talking to you because my daughter, she used to like girls. And I didn't tell her that it's not okay. Right?
Yeah.
Me as a father, she's 15, about to be 16 years old. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm her father, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is coming from a dad perspective. And I told her, I'm like, hey, I'm still gonna love you no matter what, gay, straight, lesbian, whatever it is you want to be. But I'm gonna give you my opinion on what's true to my opinion. And I gave it to her, right? And I told her, I'm like, hey, look, it's up to you. I can't control who you are, but I didn't teach her that. You know what I'm saying? She learned that on her own base. You get what I'm saying? I didn't teach her. I didn't force her that way. I didn't force her to be gay. I didn't force her to be straight. I let her feelings and her mind kind of make the decisions that she wants. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if she tells me tomorrow, Dad, I feel like a boy.
I mean, I don't think there's any evidence that shows that people are kind of taught to be gayer.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are, because when I speak to her, right, she said that she learns it from a friend. A friend told her to try it out. That's the thing, though. My daughter is very honest with me and my wife. And when I asked her, she told me the truth. She told me, hey, I got a friend. She's this, that, and the third, and she, I think girls are cute and this, that, and so I tried it out. So, at one point she had a girlfriend or whatever. It didn't work out for her. And, and I let her know. I'm always going to educate my daughter to the best of my ability in the sense of for her to live a better life based on my experiences, right? I am not going to tell her what not to do and what to do with how she feels about something, right?
Right.
So if she was to come up to me or my wife and tell me, hey, I feel like I'm going to be a boy, I'm going to be honest with her and I'm going to tell her, hey, I need you to kind of reevaluate what you're thinking, and are you sure you feel that way? Yeah, Dad, I feel that way. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get her help, right? I'm gonna get her to a psychiatrist, to let her speak to somebody that doesn't know her, right? To see if there's actually some type of mental issues there, right? We all have mental issues. I believe we all have mental issues. It's just how we address our mental issues, right? Who do we talk to? Who do we speak to? Who, how do we educate ourselves? How do we gain information now that our minds, I don't know how old you are, but I'm about to be 40 years old. The internet is a fast way to receive information versus back in the days you had to read certain things and certain articles to learn what was going on.
Right.
So now the mind is receiving so much information at once and such a fast pace that it can cause confusion on certain ways that people think. So that's why I feel like it's important. Yes, it's a wrong thing to go and change I feel like it's a wrong thing to do is to change the way you look, the way you are. You haven't somewhat of a mental issue, right?
No.
And
No.
I believe you have something going on. You're not in your right mind. Because it's not. It's the facts are facts, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't deny that a male cannot have a baby and a male cannot have a period. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, and also and there's okay. So like a bunch of things. Okay, so first of all, I don't think that schools are teaching kids to be attracted to boys or girls. I think that comes with genetic makeup and your DNA and your upbringing maybe. And even if that was the case, I don't know, like if someone told her, hey, you should try out going out with girls and she likes it, I still don't see what the problem with that is. Also,
no, I don't have a problem with that, right? I don't have a problem with a person being gay, but when it comes to,
I mean, I kind of don't understand what the problem is. If someone like is whatever, if someone is kind of straight and then it turns out they like guys too, then I don't know what the problem with that is, really. And what the problem with that, teaching that in schools?
I never said that there was a problem. I'm just saying that stuff that I don't teach her, right? Or her mom didn't teach her. She gained that she's learning that through other people as a young adult, being in high school.
Well, you just admitted that she kind of learned it from her friends. She learned it from her friends, not her teacher, right? So I don't know. That's
yeah, I live in Florida. They don't allow that kind of bullshit in our schools. So that's why she didn't learn that in schools. But I do have family that live in other states, like in California. There's one of those schools that they have that ideology. And then luckily, my little cousin, right? He's my second cousin. He's a little kid smart, and he told his parents, "Hey, I want to be homeschooled because this is the shit they're teaching in school." You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, they end up moving out of California. Now they live here in Florida. But that's the bullshit that was going on. Like you can't deny that. Why would you teach that in school? No, teach history, teach math, teach reading, educate kids to what they're gonna be using in life, not their sexuality. Like leave the bed out of their education, right? At the end of the day, that's why, you see in classes they barely talk about human growth and development because it doesn't go based on human growth and development. It goes beyond that. So in Florida, human growth and development goes to like pretty much at the end, towards the end of high school is when they start teaching that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because the thing is, and in middle school, kids are not ready for that. Right? When they were teaching that in Florida, let's say here in Florida, for an example.
I mean, like if a middle school kid, if a middle school thinks he might be gay.
You're starting to see kids be pregnant in 8th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah.
So it has a lot to do with it. So believe it or not, you might not think there is, but it is. It plays a big factor of that stuff being educated in the schools and stuff like that. I don't disrespect none of them. It is what it is. People do what they want in their own bed. I've met transgender people, and a lot of times because I live in Orlando, and in Orlando there's a lot of transgenders, a lot. And I did residential AC where I was going into their houses, and I was seeing all of that. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is with people. I have nothing against them. I just don't like when they bring that into to children's minds and try to convince them, like having a cartoon on Netflix of little kids watching two dads putting it on Disney movies. No, it's not. That's not the right place to put that at.
And why is that not?
You know?
And why is that wrong to put that in Disney movies?
Because it is. You're causing confusion, right?
Wait, how's that confusion? What's that confusion? How does that cause confusion?
Okay, it causes confusion, right?
How?
Your typical household has a male and a female as a mom and dad.
Okay.
And then you take a child to a movie and they see two dads raising a child, and the both dads are having, like, you know, kisses and stuff like that. It's gonna cause confusion.
What do you mean by confusion?
Yeah, it's gonna confuse. Wait, I was told by my parents that is mom and dad.
Yeah, and then they also learn there can also be two dads.
Dad, or not mom and mom.
And then they go to a movie and they see there can also be two dads. So I don't know. There could be mom and dad. There could be dad. There could be wife and wife. So I don't know what the confusion is here.
That is a confusion, right?
No, so what is the confusion?
It's your typical mom and dad, right? It was where everybody was raised in as a child. I don't know how old you are, but you basically you have your mom and dad. Your children are being grown up. They're like 5 to 6 years old, and then they go to a movie theater to go watch a movie, and then next thing you know, they're showing two males together kissing or raising a child. You know, like bringing that into the world is not. I feel like it's not a good idea. They should allow a person to make that decision as they're growing up. I think it's a lot better procedure when it comes to a person.
Yeah, go ahead.
My best friend growing up, her mom was a lesbian and had a partner. She was raised by two women, and they never forced that lifestyle on her. Never. I actually lived with her for 6 months when my parents got divorced, and they never forced their lifestyle on me either. So I think that Tops is coming from a very ignorant perspective, and he's just judging from what he thinks and how he feels without actually looking at the internal and real life experiences of people that have actually been raised in those circumstances.
Okay, so you're telling me how I feel about a certain situation, right? Without knowing the truth.
You don't have any actual experience.
How do you know that?
Based on your opinions, and your opinions are very feelings fueled.
And yours aren't?
My opinions are based on experience. I had a gay uncle growing up too. He never forced his lifestyle on me.
Okay, cool. So
I was raised to accept people.
That's what I'm saying. I accept people. I've never said that I didn't never accept people.
But you're judging something that you're judging it from a fictional perspective from a movie.
I'm not judging because it's not the movie's job
and then you're saying
do that.
But it's fiction. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not real.
It doesn't. What do you mean it doesn't matter? A little kid wants to be Batman.
Well, if you don't want your kids seeing that, maybe you should read the synopsis for the movie before you take your kid to see that movie.
Well,
I think that's more your responsibility than the movie's responsibility.
No, not really, because the movies don't put that out until the day, let's say, for an example, releases. Then people write blogs and stuff like that, and then they put it out. But when
maybe you should do some research before you go see the movie.
Well, that's why I do my research and my kids don't go watch the movie.
I think that if a parent thinks that their kid can go see that movie, then that's their parenting choice. That's their decision. You shouldn't judge them for that because that's their parenting choice. You should make your own parenting choice.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now you're putting words in my mouth. I never said that you shouldn't. No,
but you're saying that shouldn't be in the movie.
It shouldn't be in the movie. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be in the movie.
That's the movie producer's choice.
Yeah, so that's why they shouldn't. People have an opinion.
I don't think that straight relationships should be pushed onto people either.
Yeah, plus, aren't you like restricting? But Shab, aren't you like
Okay,
restricting
so
freedom of speech when you tell them they can't do certain things in movies?
no, it's an opinion, bro. At the end of the day, it's an opinion. I'm just sharing my opinion, right? The same way she said right now that they shouldn't put like regular, right, a boy and girl kissing. Like, let's say for an example, I'll give you an example. The movie My Girl, right? They should have never put, their two young kids in the movie, right? I think they're 11 and 12 or some shit like that in the movie. And you feel like, cool, I fall back on that because that's your opinion, right? I feel my opinion is they shouldn't put the gay stuff on little children's movies.
Because
On a movie that's an adult movie or whatever, I don't give three shits about it. But when it comes to children movies, no, keep that shit out of there.
Because why?
Because it's wrong. It's wrong to my eyes. It's wrong to a lot of people's eyes. Like, no, you shouldn't be a.
Why is being gay wrong though?
Because if you go based on religion or whatever, or based on what we know
Religion is like opinions though. That's people's opinions of reality, but it doesn't necessarily always reflect reality.
Okay. Reality is reality.
There's no religion that you can prove 100% factual. You can find truth in all religion, but none of them are 100% factual.
Correct, but our religion has a male and female
Our religion,
relationship,
what religion
right?
is that?
You know how they say.
Are you assuming that I follow the same religion as you? Because I'll have you know I'm a pagan witch.
I'm just stating like that I know of. There's not a religion that supports like a male and female together.
So I guess so. You're saying that movie should just follow what
maybe
religions?
If you're thinking about like just Christianity, Judaism, Islam, but there's more religions than just those three. If you go and you look at the Native American religion, they believed in what's called two-spirit, and that's somebody that doesn't quite fall into the category of male or female in how they present themselves and how they interact in relationships. And if you go way back into like Judaism and actually like go into the Torah and what they teach about gender in there's actually like 4 genders. And I believe that the Bible, the verse that condemns homosexuality is actually twisted through translation, and what it originally was referring to was men laying down with little boys.
I'm sorry. So you're saying that in the Bible, there's something that
It's in like Leviticus or some shit. I can't remember the exact verse, but it says something about men should not lay down with men as they would women. But the original verse, when you go back through the original translations, what it said was about little boys, not grown